Hello everyone, welcome back to another video today. And finally, I'm back after a very long time, and I'm very excited, but also a tad disappointed because in the end, sadly, Mumbai Indians were knocked out of the IPL and we did not reach the playoffs. And it's been a very disappointing campaign in that regards because at the start of the campaign, we all thought that Mumbai Indians will most probably reach at least the playoff, at least the eliminator. But what went wrong? For the two-time consecutive champions and overall the five-time IPL winners, what went wrong this season? I'm a Mumbai fan, but this video is purely unbiased where I analyze what went wrong for Mumbai and where did everything unravel. Because for such a consistent team, it's a disappointing to not qualify, even if it was just because of our run rate. For Mumbai, whole campaign it was sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes up, sometimes down. So it was a disappointing campaign. So let's straight away break down that. The first part that I want to break down is the runs. And last year was one of the most dominating campaign I can remember from Mumbai team. We absolutely dismantled every team in the way pitches with no disrespect intended. Last year, the most of the victories by Mumbai Indians were 45 runs, 50 runs, 40 runs, 35 runs, winning by getting Chennai Super Kings bundled out of 115, having teams easily being 40 for 2 after the power play, chasing down quickly. And the big reason for that was, first of all, the batting performances in Mumbai. Now, people have said the pitches have been also very, you can say, disappointing in this IPL, but were good in the last IPL. But see, pitches can not only be the only excuse because these batsmen are more than capable to adjust their game according to the pitch. If you see the last year's stats for Mumbai Indians, the last year Ishan Kishan scored 516 runs. Suru Kumar had runs around 400. Quinton de Kock had runs around 400 and there were a lot of half centuries between them. This year, if you see Mumbai Indians record, it gives a very bleak eye. First of all, the highest Mumbai run scorer is a 10th rank in total IPL rankings, and that's Rohit Sharma, who has got 381 runs. You go to Surya Kumar Yadav and he's the second highest with 317 and he has got 2 half centuries. That's the highest Mumbai Indian team has amassed this season, which is a very disappointing thing. And Quinton de Kock, who always has above 400 seasons, this year has only 297 runs, which also shows how bad Mumbai Indians batting has been this season. Ishan Kishan came into his form in the last 2 matches but overall had a very, you can say, disappointing campaign from his regard. Kieran Pullan only scored 244 runs, from which the best knock came against Chennai Super Kings in the Delhi pitches. Now moving on to the next problem for Mumbai, and that's the number 2 problem, and that's the bowling. And it's been a very disappointing campaign for Mumbai in regards to bowling. Now if we go to the most wickets, now last year if you remember, it was Jasprit Bumrah who took around 30, if I can be fully accurate with my stats, Jasprit Bumrah last year took 27 wickets and Trent Bolt took 25. So 52 wickets were taken by the Pacers last year. This year, because the pitches were a bit slow, because the pitches were not as good in the power play, it was on the sluggish side, Trent Bolt's effect on the team diminished. It diminished. The wickets in the power play never came in the same regard. And if you see this year's stats, now just see this year's stat, Jasprit Bumrah for Mumbai has done a fantastic job. 21 wickets. But then just go down and scroll. Second highest wicket taker for Mumbai is joint Rahul Chahar, 13 wickets, and Trent Bolt, 13 wickets. Last year, Trent Bolt took 25 wickets. This year, he took 13 wickets. So Bumrah 21 and Trent Bolt 13, 34 wickets between the Pacers. Last year, these two took 52 wickets. So already Mumbai have 18 wickets deficit, and a lot of these wickets did not come in the power play because the pitches were on the slow side. Trent Bolt's wicket taking in the power play diminished. He's not as great death bowler, and Mumbai's effect diminished. Rahul Chahar had a disappointing campaign. Krunal Pandya had a disappointing campaign. Colton Isle had a good campaign but only played 3 or 4 matches. Adam Milne had a good start but ended badly and was only played for 2-3 matches. James Neesham was only given 2 matches, which was a big surprise to me, and James Neesham took 5 wickets in that, so that's a very good sign for him to end the campaign. This was the second problem of Mumbai Indians. Now moving on to the third problem, and that's the overall structure of the side, and you can say a bit more, you can say, stubbornness. Mumbai needed a change in the side for a very long time. It wasn't working. It wasn't going the way it was going, and Mumbai needed to shore up their bowling efforts as well as batting strength. The problem with Mumbai Indian balls is it persisted with, sadly, I really love him a lot, and he won Mumbai to 2017 IPL, but Krunal Pandya's performances were not at the level. And what was the role of Hardik Pandya in the side? Now Hardik Pandya, when he came to Mumbai, he played as a bowler and a batsman. Now, is Hardik Pandya playing as a pure batter or is bowling? Because his off cutters are very threatening. And Hardik Pandya did not bowl this campaign which is not a good sign. And then Kunal Pandya bowling was not up to the mark, his batting was not up to the mark. So you got two players whose batting was not up to the mark. You got two players whose one bowling wasn't on mark, Kunal Pandya, and one did not bowl. So that was a big problem for Mumbai Indians. Now going on to the last problem, and it's along with the stubbornness as well, and that's the auction. Now Mumbai only prepared for Wankhede pitches. They only prepared for the way the Wankhede pitches will be made. So they made a squad that is very good for batting, that enjoys the pitches of Wankhede, and they made a bowling attack which will work on pitches where pace is available, where the bounce is available. Trent Bolt is very effective on pitches which are green, which have good bounce available, which are fast. Wankhede pitch was made for him. Jasprit Bumrah can bowl on any pitches. Colton had did a good job. Adam Milne is made for fast pitches. And in spin attack, Mumbai only have Rahul Chahar, a leg spinner. Mumbai have Jayant Yadav, which is only used for the left-handers in the batting lineup of other teams. And then you got Piyush Chawla, who is not the Piyush Chawla we know. So Mumbai Indians did not go with proper spinners in the auction. And then they only went with bowlers that will work on the Wankhede pitch. And they only went with the batsmen that work in the Wankhede pitch. So Mumbai prepared as per pitches in Wankhede, as per India. But sadly, everything turned around. Sadly, with all the COVID problems, IPL was done first of all in Chennai pitches. Then Mumbai played 2 matches in Delhi. And then it was again done in Dubai, where the pitches were on the very slow side, unlike last year. So in the auction, you need to be properly prepared. You have to make a squad which works in the whole way. Like KKR. KKR had Narayan and Chakravarti that worked very well on the slow pitches. In the batting department, they had players like Russell, they had players like Gill, they had brought Venkatesh Iyer. So they had got batting which can bat deep with Sunil Narayan till number 8 and 9. And then they've got a bowling attack, Narayan, Chakravarti, but then the fast bowling duo of Ferguson, Mavi. So in that way, they made a squad which can work on slow pitches and fast pitches. Mumbai Indians only made a squad that only works on the fast pitches, and that was a mistake they did in auction. James Neesham was only brought to replace Kieran Pollard. Chris Lynn was brought to replace Quinton de Kock, and in the end, you see Jayant Yadav was brought in to replace Rahul Chahar. Piyush Chawla was brought in just as a reserve. There was no reserve for Hardik Pandya. There was no reserve for Kishan because Saurabh Tiwari is not as attacking player as Kishan is. So there was no replacement in that regards, and Mumbai still did not have a proper spinner. Rahul Chahar was the leading spinner and he was not effective, and Mumbai Indians struggled. Whereas if they would have brought a proper spinner in the auction and they would have brought some slow bowlers in that, it would have worked to perfection. They should have played James Neesham earlier. James Neesham's slower deliveries would have worked very well on these pitches. They should have played Carlton Nile from the start of the campaign and not Adam Milne. And these are some of the mistakes which cost them the matches. Against RCB, they restricted RCB to 165. They were 80 for 1. For Mumbai Indians to from 79 for 1 to go 111 all out is not acceptable. There were so many matches this year where Mumbai got the job done because they are Mumbai Indians. The win against Chennai Super Kings, where again batting did not work, bar Kieran Pollard. The match against KKR, where KKR could not even make 30 runs from 30 balls. Mumbai this year from the starting never looked like they'll make the playoffs. It was just like a champions team which knows how to come out. At the last, Mumbai's biggest problem was their performance against the bigger sides. They won one against KKR, they lost one against KKR. They lost both matches to RCB, they lost both matches to Delhi, and they won one match against Chennai. I cannot remember Mumbai sides which do not do well against bigger sides. And that was the Mumbai story of the campaign. In the end, to summarize it all, they did not do well in the auction market. They did not prepare well for the pitches which were on the slow side. And you can say because they were two-time champion, they were a bit stubborn and they made changes too late, bringing Neesham and Carlton a bit too late. But overall, ending it on, 5-time IPL champions, 2-time consecutive winners, sadly not this year. And I love this side. Whether this side goes 15 years without winning IPL, I'll keep supporting them. And we all Mumbai fans will keep doing that. And this is a splendid team which will only improve. The only sad part at the end I want to say is that sadly this was the last time we are seeing this squad together. Next year only 4 players will be retained and mostly the core of the team will go away. So they gave us great memories and they'll always remain in the heart of all Mumbai fans. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. If you think some situations I've given are wrong, please drop your feedback on the comment section below and your thoughts what went wrong for Mumbai in this season. Thank you.